A brief introduction to Supreme God Kabir. Supreme God Kabir manifests on this earth with his body in all 4 yugas. He himself delivers the knowledge about himself. Supreme God manifests with the name Satya Sukrit in Satya Yuga, Munindra in Treta Yuga, Karunamay in Dwapar Yuga, and Kabir in Kal Yuga. सतयुग में सत सुकृत कह टेरा, त्रेता नाम मुनिंद्र मेरा, द्वापर में करुणामय कहाया, कलयुग नाम कबीर धराया. सुप्रीम गॉड कबीर जी हिमसेल्फ सतगुरु पुरुष कबीर हैं. चारों युग प्रमाण झूठे गुरु व मर गए, हो गए भूत मसान. अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड का एक रति नहीं भार, सतगुरु पुरुष कबीर हैं कुल के सिरजनहार. हम सुल्तानी नानक तारे, दादू को उपदेश दिया, जाति जुलाहा भेद न पाया, काशी मां ही कबीर हुआ. सेंट गारिब दास साहिब जी, जिन मोकू निज नाम दिया सोई सतगुरु हमार. दादू दूसरा कोई नहीं कबीर सिरजनहार. दादू दास साहिब जी, गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब पेज 24. तेरा एक नाम तारे संसार, मैं यही आस यही आधार. फाई सुरति मुलूकी वेश, ये ठगवारा ठग्गी देश. खरा सियाणा बहुते भार, ढाणक रूप रहा करतार. गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब पेज 721. हक्का कबीर करीम तू, बे परवरदिगार. गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब पेज 731. आंदुला नीच जाति परदेशी मेरा, खिन आवै तिल जावै. जाकी संगति नानक रहंदा, क्यों कर मोहड़ा पावै. बोलत रामानंद जी, सुनो कबीर करतार, गरीब दास सब रूप में तुम ही बोलनहार. दोहूं ठौर है एक तू भया एक से दो, गरीब दास हम कारणे आए हो मग जॉय. Here, a description of only some of the divine miracles done by Supreme God Kabir Ji in Kal Yuga will be given. Please read the narrative of Supreme God manifesting on earth in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga on page 250 of this very book. Incarnation of Supreme God Kabir in Kal Yuga. There is a widely known misconception regarding Supreme God Kabir Ji that he was born from the womb of a widow with the blessings of Maharishi Ramanand Ji. This is completely baseless. Please read the true brief introduction of Supreme God Kabir Ji. Liberator Bandi Chaude. Supreme God Kabir took his beloved disciple. At that time, Supreme God Kabir Ji was performing a divine act, that is, Leela. The parents of devotee Sudarshan had not accepted the knowledge of Supreme God Kabir Ji. His father's name was Bhikhu Ram, and his mother's name was Sukwanti. When both mother and father passed away, devotee Sudarshan started staying extremely disturbed. He also worshipped less. Knowing the thoughts of his devotee, omniscient Karunamay Ji, that is, in Dwapar Yuga, God Kabir Ji was performing a divine act by the name of Karunamay, asked, "O devotee Sudarshan, what worry is troubling you? Are you worried about the separation from your parents, or is there any other family problem? Tell me." Devotee Sudarshan Ji said, "O Liberator, that is, Bandi Chauda, O omniscient God, that is, Antaryami, you are all-knowing. You are aware of the entire situation, both from inside and outside. O Lord, I am not distressed about the death of my parents because they had become very old. You have told that this model that is, body, made up of 5 elements will perish one day. I am worried because my parents were very pious, kind, and righteous souls. They worshipped according to folklore that is, Lokved, which was against the injunctions of scriptures, due to which their human life got wasted. I don't know in which creature's form would they be suffering now. Your servant humbly requests you that whenever my parents get human bodies, then take them under your refuge, O Lord, and make them also cross the universe of Kal Brahm, that is, Pavsagar, my benefactor. This is the worry that is bothering me." Supreme God Kabir Ji thought that this innocent devotee Sudarshan will remain stuck in Kal's web by being trapped in the attachment of his parents. Kal Brahm has made the snare, that is, trap, of attachment very strong. Thinking this, Supreme God Kabir Ji said, "O devotee Sudarshan, you don't worry, I will definitely take your parents in my refuge, and I won't rest until they attain liberation. You go to Satyalok. Leave this worry." After gaining assurance from Supreme God Kabir Ji, devotee Sudarshan did true worship and went to Satyalok. He attained complete salvation. The souls of the parents of devotee Sudarshan Valmiki got human bodies in Kalyuga. In the city of Kashi in India, the soul of Sudarshanji's father took birth in a Brahmin's house and was named Gauri Shankar, and the soul of Sudarshanji's mother was also born in a Brahmin's house as a girl and was named Saraswati. Upon reaching youth, they both got married. Brahmin Gauri Shankar was a devotee of Lord Shiva and used to praise the glory of Lord Shiva by narrating stories, that is, katha, from Shiva Purana. Gauri Shankar was selfless. He spent the money he used to earn by narrating stories, that is, katha, for doing meritorious deeds and community meals, that is, dharma, only. All the people who used to make Brahmin Gauri Shankar narrate the stories, that is, katha, and listen to him, praised his sacrifice, due to which Gauri Shankar was becoming renowned in entire Kashi. The business of other selfish Brahmins to collect money by narrating stories, that is, katha, came to an end. Because of this reason, those Brahmins were jealous of Brahmin Gauri Shankar. Muslims came to know that one Brahmin named Gauri Shankar is vigorously propagating Hinduism in Kashi. How to stop this? Muslims came to know that all the Brahmins of Kashi are jealous of Gauri Shankar. Muslims took advantage of this. They sprinkled their water inside the house of Gauri Shankar and Saraswati. They put the water sipped by them on their mouth. They also sprinkled that water on their clothes and announced that Gauri Shankar and Saraswati have now become Muslims. They named the man Nur Ali, alias Niru, and the woman Niyamat, alias Nima. When other selfish Brahmins came to know about this, they got their chance. They immediately called for a meeting, that is, panchayat, of Brahmins, and decided that Gauri Shankar and Saraswati have become Muslims, and now they have no relation with the Brahmin society. They got banned from bathing in Ganga, going to the temple, and reading Hindu scriptures. Gauri Shankarji, that is, Niru, remained extremely worried for a few days. The money that came by narrating stories, that is, katha, was the only source of income of the family. When that stopped, they had to struggle even for food. After thinking, Niru started cloth weaving for livelihood, because of which he was called a weaver. He used to feed himself and his wife with the wages he got from weaving cloth. Whenever he earned some extra money, he used to spend it on meritorious deeds and community meals, that is, dharma. Several years had passed since their marriage. They did not have any children. Both husband and wife performed many rituals for having children. They also took blessings from saints and sages, but did not have any children. Hindus had stopped both of them from bathing in River Ganga. About 4 kilometers away from their residence, there was a lake called Lahartara, in which the water of River Ganga itself used to fall through waves splashing over a lower bank. That is why the lake was named Lahartara. Large lotus flowers were blooming in that lake. Muslims named Gauri Shankar as Nur Ali, who was called Niru by alias name, and his wife was named Niyamat, who was called Nima by alias name. Although Niru and Nima had become Muslims, they still worshipped Lord Shiva, that is, Shankar, from their heart, and used to go to bathe in Lahar Tara Pond every day before sunrise. On Monday also, the full moon day in the month of Jyeshtha, Vikram Samvat, 1455, that is, year 1398 AD, they were going to bathe during Brahm Muhurat, that is, the time of Brahm Muhurat is approximately 1.5 hours before sunrise. On the way, Nima was praying to Lord Shiva, that is, Shankar, that, O Lord of the poor, that is, Dinanath, please give one child to your servants too. There is no shortage in your house, Lord. Our life will also become successful. My soul becomes sad on hearing the sarcasms of the world. In which birth and what mistake did I, a sinner, commit, because of which I have to yearn for seeing the face of a child? Forgive our sins, Lord. Please give us a child too. Saying this, Nima started crying badly. Then Niru consoled her and said, "Oh, Nima, we are not destined to have children. If having children was in our destiny, Lord Shiva would have surely blessed us with them. You will ruin your eyes by crying. We don't have a child in our fate who would hold our finger in old age. Do not cry. I can't bear to see you cry again and again." Saying this, Niru's eyes also filled with tears. In this way, while discussing about God and praying for a child, they reached the same Lahar Tara pond. First Nima entered, and then Niru entered the pond for taking a bath. The darkness of morning soon turns into light. When Nima took a bath, till that time, it was still dark. When she changed her clothes and went to the pond again to wash the clothes she had worn while taking a bath, at that time, Niru had entered the pond and was bathing by taking dips and rubbing himself. Nima's gaze fell upon a lotus flower on which something was moving. At first, Nima thought that it was a snake sitting on the lotus flower who was lifting its hood and shaking it. She thought that this snake might bite her husband. Nima looked at it carefully. It was not a snake, but a child who had placed one of his feet in his mouth and was shaking the other. Incarnation of Supreme God Kabir in the form of an infant in Lahar Tara pond. Nima said to her husband in a loud voice, "Look, dear, a small child is lying on the lotus flower. He should not get drowned in the water." While Niru was bathing, without looking towards her, he said, "Nima, the desire for children has made you mad. Now you are starting to see children in the water too." Nima said in a very loud voice, "I am telling the truth, look, there is really a child on the lotus flower. There it is, look, look." Seeing the change in Nima's voice and increased pain, Niru looked in the direction where Nima was pointing with her hand. Seeing the newborn baby on the lotus flower, Niru, without thinking twice, quickly picked up the baby along with the lotus flower and handed him to his wife. Nima embraced Supreme God Kabir Ji, kissed him on the face, and loved him as her own son. The Supreme God, in search of whom sages and saints did worship against the scriptures throughout their lives, but could not find him, that very Supreme God was playing in the lap of devotee Nima. The peace-giving Supreme God who is worshipped with the desire to attain happiness, he himself was in Nima's hands, clasped to her chest. Niru Nima receiving Supreme God Kabir in the form of an infant. The coolness and joy that devotee Nima must have been feeling at that time can only be imagined. Niru came out of the water after taking a bath. Niru thought that if we take this child to the city dwellers will suspect us and think that we have stolen someone's child. They might expel us from the city. Out of this fear, Niru said to his wife, "Nima, leave this child here. It is in our best interest." Nima said, "Oh, husband, this is a toy given by Lord Shiva, that is, Shankar. I don't know what magic this child has cast on me, that my mind has got captivated by him. I cannot abandon this child." Niru made Nima aware of his inner thoughts. He explained that the people of the city will snatch this child from us. They will ask, "Where did you get him from?" We will say that we found him on a lotus flower in the Lahar Tara pond. No one will believe us. It is possible that they may even expel us from the city. Then Nima said, "I am ready to leave the country with this child, but I cannot abandon him. I will even accept my death, but I will not be able to live without this child." Seeing Nima's stubbornness, Niru got angry and raising his hand to slap her. With tears in his eyes, he said in a compassionate voice, "Nima, till date I have never refused anything you said. Knowing that we do not have any child, I have given you the love of both a husband and a father. You are taking undue advantage of my humble nature. Today, without understanding my situation, you are giving me pain with your stubborn nature." For the first time in their married life had Niru raised his hand to slap his wife and said, "Either leave this child here or else I will beat you badly today." At that time, Supreme God, in the form of a child who was clung to Nima's chest, said, "O Niru, take me to your home, no harm will come to you. I have come here from Satlock for your benefit." Hearing the above words from the mouth of the newborn baby, Niru, that is, Nur Ali, got scared that he might be some god or ancestor or some sage with spiritual powers who might curse him. Due to this fear, Niru did not say anything and started walking towards home. Loving the Supreme God, his wife followed him, eyewitness of the above incident. Like every day, on Monday, a full moon day of Jyeshtha month, in Vikram Samvat 1455, that is, 1398 AD, a sage named Ashtanand, who was a disciple of Swami Ramanand Ji, went to take a bath in the clean water of Lahartara Pond, located outside the city of Kashi. It was the time of Brahm Muhurta, that is, the time of Brahm Muhurta is about 1.5 hours before sunrise. Sage Ashtanand Ji took a bath in Lahartara Pond. He used to sit there every day and do his prayers for some time. While Sage Ashtanand Ji was trying to meditate, he saw a beam of light coming down from the sky. The light had so much brilliance that Sage Ashtanand Ji's physical eyes could not bear it, just like the eyes can't tolerate sunlight. When the eyes are closed after seeing the radiance of the sun, the shape of sun is visible, but there is not much brightness, that is, light, in it. Likewise, on seeing the brilliance, that is, light, of the Supreme God for the first time, Sage Ashtanand Ji's eyes got closed. He opened his eyes again after seeing the child with his closed eyes. Sage Ashtanand saw that the light descended on Lahartara Pond, due to which the whole lake became illuminated, and within no time, that light, that is, brightness, got confined to one corner of the lake. Sage Ashtanand thought, "What spectacle did I see? Is this an achievement of my devotion or a defect of my vision? I will ask my Gurudev, Swami Ramanand Ji, about the same." Thinking this, Sage Ashtanand Ji left his remaining worship, that is, sadhana, and went to his revered Guru. After narrating the entire incident to Swami Ramanand Ji, he asked, "O Gurudev, is this the achievement of my devotion or a delusion? I saw light coming down from the sky, which my eyes could not bear. When my eyes got closed, I saw a newborn baby. When I opened my eyes again, the whole lake got illuminated with that light. Later, that light, that is, brightness, got confined to one corner of that pond. I have left my worship practice, that is, sadhana, midway, with a desire to know the reason from you. Please resolve my doubt." Sage Swami Ramanand Ji said to his disciple Ashtanand, "O Brahmin, this is neither an achievement of your devotion, nor is it a defect of your vision. Such incidents happen at the time when a deity from the higher worlds descends to earth to take incarnation. He resides in the womb of a woman. Then he takes the form of a child, performs the divine act, that is, Leela, and completes his desired mission. Some deity has come from the higher worlds. He will take birth in someone's house in the city of Kashi and fulfill his destiny." Through the above words, Sage Swami Ramanand Ji resolved the doubt of his disciple, Ashtanand. The belief of those sages has been that all incarnations take birth from the womb of a mother. Niru and Nima arrived at their home in Julaha Mohalla, that is, Weaver's Colony, with the child. Every man and woman who saw Supreme God, Kabir Ji, in the form of a newborn baby, kept on looking at him only. Supreme God's body was extremely beautiful. The eyes were like lotus flowers, curly hair and long hands and fingers. It was as if light was emanating from the body. Just like the English people are fair, Supreme God's body was even fairer than them. English people are white. The body of Supreme God Kabir Ji was even whiter than them. There was no such extraordinary child in the entire city of Kashi. Whoever saw him would tell others that Nur Ali has found a child in the pond. He was born today only. Some widow must have kept him there, out of fear and societal shame. After seeing the child, one does not feel like taking one's eyes off his face. The soul gets drawn towards him automatically. I wonder what kind of magic is there on the child's face. The whole of Kashi thronged to see the child form of Supreme God. Men and women came to Niru's house to see the child, forming groups and singing auspicious songs. On seeing the child, that is, Supreme God Kabir, some were saying, "This child is an incarnation of some deity." Some were saying, "He appears to be Lord Vishnu himself." Some were saying, "Surely Lord Shiva himself has taken birth to bless our city of Kashi." Someone was saying, "He is an incarnation of Kinnar." Someone was saying, "He has come from the realm of ancestors, that is, Pittar Nagri." Hearing all these discussions, Nima became unhappy and said that do not say anything about my child. O Allah, protect my child from their sight. Have you ever seen a child or not? Such groups of people are coming to see my child. The men and women who came there said, O Nima, we have seen many children, but we have never seen a child like yours. That is why we have come to see him. From their respective worlds above, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva also started peeping to see. Upon hearing from the mouths of the residents of Kashi that this child is one of them, that is, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, or Lord Shiva, they said that this child has come from some other world. We are also not aware of his place of origin, but he must be a highly powerful and accomplished being, that is, Siddh Purush. Naming ceremony of child supreme god Kabir. Niru, that is, Nur Ali, and Nima were Hindu Brahmins originally. Due to this, the Brahmins came to name the boy out of greed. At the same time, Muslim Qazis came with their book, Quran Sharif, to name the boy. At that time, Delhi was ruled by the Mughal emperors who ruled over the entire Indian subcontinent. Because of this, Hindu society was suppressed by Muslims. The Qazis said, "We will name the boy according to Muslim tradition." Now they have become Muslims. Saying this, the chief Qazi opened the Quran from somewhere. In the first line of that page, the first name written was Kabiran. The Qazis thought that the name Kabir means big. It would not be appropriate to name this low caste, that is, weaver's child, as Kabir. This is suitable for naming children of high-class families. The supreme god in child form knew the fault, that is, weakness, which was there in the minds of the Qazis. The Qazis again opened Holy Quran Sharif for the purpose of naming the child. The words Kabir, Kabir, Kabir were written on both those pages. There were no other words. The Qazis opened the Quran Sharif again, and on those pages as well, only the words Kabir, Kabir, Kabir were written. The Qazis inspected the entire Quran. All the letters in the Quran Sharif brought by them became Kabir, 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 Kabir. The Qazis said, "This child has changed our Quran Sharif itself by doing some magic." Then Supreme God Kabir Ji, in the form of a child, said, "O Qazis of Kashi, I am Kabir Allah, that is, Allahu Akbar. Keep my name Kabir only." The Qazis left the Quran they had brought with them there only and went away. They said that some spirit is speaking through this child. Infant Supreme God Kabir, drinking the milk of a maiden cow. When Nima tried to feed milk to child Kabir, then the Supreme God closed his mouth. Despite all efforts, Nima and Niru remained unsuccessful in feeding milk to the child. When 25 days passed with the child not consuming any food, the parents became extremely worried. Nima had been crying and lamenting for 24 days. She was thinking that this child is not eating anything. He will die. Someone has cast an evil eye on my son. For 24 days at a stretch, she tried methods of warding off the evil eye suggested by different men and women, and got tired. There was no benefit. The 25th day dawned. Mother Nima remained awake the whole night and kept crying, thinking, "I do not know when this child might die. I will also hang myself at the same time. I cannot survive without this child." The body of child Kabir was completely healthy, and it looked as if the child was drinking 1 kilogram of milk every day. However, Nima was afraid that this child cannot survive without eating or drinking anything. He can die any time. Thinking this, she was crying bitterly. When worship and prayers to Lord Shiva as well as the formless Lord proved futile, she became extremely distressed and started crying. On the 25th day, Niru thought that they have already performed all the practices, that is, rituals, as instructed by the Muslim Qazis and mullahs, but the child is not drinking milk. At that time, Swami Ramanand Ji was a renowned scholar, that is, Pandit. He went to him and told him his problem that he had got a son in the forest. Niru had found a son on a lotus flower in the water. However, whosoever he told that he had found a son on a lotus flower. Out of this fear, Niru told Swami Ramanandaji that he had found a newborn baby in the forest. He has not been eating or drinking anything for 25 days. "O sage, please suggest some method?" Sage Ramanandaji said that you were a Brahmin in your previous birth too. At that time you had made a mistake in devotion to God, because of which you became a weaver. Niru said, "O sage, I had to get the result of whatever deeds I had done. Now I have come to you in a time of crisis. Kindly tell something so that the child drinks milk." Sage Ramanandaji said to bring a maiden that is virgin cow that has not been touched by a bull. Make it stand near your child, and that maiden, virgin cow, will give milk. The child will drink that milk. Niru thought in his mind that Sage had played a joke with him. How can a maiden, virgin cow, give milk? He came back with a heavy heart, sat in his hut and started crying. Lord Shiva, taking the form of a sage, came and stood in front of Niru's hut and wanted to know the reason behind Nima's tears. Nima kept crying and sobbing intermittently. On the earnest insistence of Lord Shiva, standing in the form of a sage, Nima started speaking while crying. "O sage, Mahatma, you will also become sad after knowing my sorrow." Lord Shiva, disguised as a sage, said, "Oh my, that is O mother. It is said that by sharing the sorrow of one's heart with others, the burden becomes lighter. Perhaps a method to redress your pain may also be found." With tears in her eyes, her tongue stumbling, and taking deep breaths, Nima said, "O revered Brahmin, we were childless. 25 days ago, both of us went to take bath at Lahar Tara Lake in Kashi, just like every day. It was the morning of the full moon day of the month of Jeshta. On the way, I had prayed to my deity, Lord Shiva, Shankar, from the depths of my heart for the attainment of a son. Hearing my plea, compassionate Lord Shiva, Shankar, granted us a child on that very day on a lotus flower in the Lahar Tara Lake. Our joy knew no bounds after getting the child. However, this joy did not last long. The child did not drink milk. We are tired of making all efforts. Today is the 25th day of this child's life, and he has not consumed anything. This child will die. Please show me your child." Nima picked up the child from the cradle and presented him before the sage, Mahatma. Nima wanted to place the child at the feet of the sage so that the child's life could be saved. The child did not come down on the ground, but rose up and stayed in the air, parallel to Lord Shiva's head, who had taken the form of a sage. Nima thought that this sage had done this miracle. He had stabilized my child in the air. The sage extended his arms in order to take the child. At that very moment, the child himself came in the hands of Lord Shiva, who had taken the form of a sage. The eyes of both the gods met. Lord Shiva, Shankar, held child Kabir ji in his hands, and after observing the lines of his forehead and palm said, "Nima, your son has a long life ahead. He is not going to die. Look, how healthy he is. His face is blooming like a lotus." Nima said, "O sage, Mahatma, I am not going to be satisfied with artificial consolation. If the child drinks milk, I will feel content." Supreme God Kabir, who had assumed the form of a 25-day-old child, said to Lord Shiva, "O Lord, please ask them to bring a maiden, virgin, cow. You keep your blessed hand on that maiden, virgin cow. It will start giving milk. I will drink the milk of that maiden, virgin cow. That cow will give milk for the rest of her life without being bred, i.e. by remaining a virgin. I will be nurtured by that milk." Supreme God, Kabir ji, and Lord Shiva, Shankar, had a discussion 7 times. Lord Shiva asked Nima, "Where is your husband?" Nima called out to her husband. He came with teary eyes and greeted the sage. Shiva, in the form of a sage, said, "Niru, you bring a maiden, virgin cow. It will give milk. This child will drink that milk." Niru brought a maiden, virgin cow, and also got a fresh small pot. earthen pot with a capacity of 4 cure, from a potter's house. As per the orders of Supreme God, Kabir Ji, Lord Shiva, disguised as a sage, slapped the back of that maiden, virgin cow, as one would pat. The udders of the sacred Mata cow became long, and streams of milk started flowing from the udders. Niru had already been instructed to place that pot beneath the udders. As soon as the pot got filled with milk, the milk stopped flowing from the udders. That milk was consumed by Supreme God Kabirji in the form of an infant. Niru and Nima touched the feet of Lord Shiva, disguised as a sage, and said, "You are indeed the very form of Lord Shiva himself. Lord Shiva only has sent you after hearing our call. What offering, dakshina, can we poor people give you? O Brahmin, we have not even woven any cloth for 24 days. Lord Shiva, Shankar, disguised as a sage, said, "Sadhu bhukha bhav ka, dhan ka bhukha nahi. Jo hai bhukha dhan ka, vah to sadhu nahi." A sage is hungry for devotion, not for money. Whoever is hungry for wealth is not a sage. Saying this, Lord Shiva, in the form of a Brahmin, departed from there